topics that you have been working on, and one of the topics she said that you have been working on is kind of the overpopulation and what happens to the environment when there's too many people living in one area. Thumbs up if that's something you've heard before. Okay, turn and talk to your partner, someone next to you. What is one effect that that has on the environment when there's an overpopulation or too many people living in one area? Who are you going to talk to?
It's bad because there's not enough food. They would have factories were closed to forest, cut down more smoke trees, and more smoke going into the air. That's why air population is going down.
Make sure everyone talks. Even if you just say, I agree.
Trees and other things like that take carbon dioxide. I agree because it does get crowded.
All right, I need you back in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Who can share with me something their partner says? What happens to the environment if there's an overpopulation in a certain area? What happens?
There's more pollution than there needs to be.
There is more pollution than there needs to be. Awesome. Can you make sure we're sitting right? Crisscross applesauce. Elena. Catherine. Eliana. Sorry, Eliana. Go ahead.
You only saw me yesterday.
I know. I see you almost every day, don't you?
There's less food.
Less food. Why? There's a lot of people. Okay.
Like that's more factories. That's more that factories have to work, and that's more smoke going into the air.
Okay, like what Olivia shared, too much pollution.
People are gonna have to cut down the trees if there's too much people, and then build their own.
Do you know what the big word is for that when we cut down trees and take away forests? What do we call that? Brian, do you remember?
Destroying nature.
You're close. Because if we take almost destroying and forests and put them together, we have something called deforestation. That means taking apart the forests and taking them down. And then we ruin things in an environment like habitats. We also can change food webs. We can change food chains and by doing that. So what I want to talk to you about today, though, is not so much people, but animals. Okay, and I watched a video about something that happened in Yellowstone National Park. Does anyone know where Yellowstone National Park is? Where is Yellowstone? Maddie, do you know? Do you know, Drake? Where's Yellowstone at? Brian?
Probably not here.
It is not in Quincy, you are right. Where is it? Wyoming. It is in Wyoming. And so I watched a video about what happened in Yellowstone National Park when they took out all the wolves. Did you know that? They thought wolves were big and bad, and they removed all the wolves from Yellowstone National Park. And so what happened when they took out all the wolves in Yellowstone National Park was that there were more deer in Yellowstone National Park. What do deer eat? Do you know, Carter? Leaves and vegetation is kind of what we call that. And so leaves and shrubs and grass. And so there were a lot of effects of what happened when they took out all the wolves. Too many deer meant that it totally changed the environment of Yellowstone. And so I watched a video. And the video that I watched was about 7.5 minutes long. Okay? And so I sat there and I took notes in my notebook while I watched this 7.5 minute long video. Look, 2 pages of notes. I wrote down all the important facts on my topic so that I could make a summary for you about what happened when there was an overpopulation of deer in Yellowstone National Park. So guess what you're going to be doing today is you are going to be writing down the facts using notes that I created for you. The notes you're going to be using are kind of a skeleton. They're a skeleton of what I'm going to teach you with some blanks. And what do you think you need to put in those blanks? What do you think you need to put? Yeah, the important facts that are missing. So that, guess what you're going to do with your notes? Braden.
You're gonna have your notes to help you get the facts.
Yeah, you're going to have your notes to help you write a summary so that you can teach people in your group about what happened when they took the wolves from Yellowstone. Thumbs up if you understand your job. Turn and tell your partner, what are you going to be doing while you watch the video?
We're going to be watching, taking notes, and summaries. And whenever you're taking notes, it's going to be easier to do the math, the worksheet. How many deer they have in one place.
Yeah, and I will try my best to
What could help you?
I knew it was iPad.
No, you're not joining
And
the group. I
concentrate.
see you. Join the group. What could you use to help you if you don't remember? What are you
When
going
you're
to
watching the video, you need to take right now notes. That's what he said.
What are you going to do while you watch the video?
That's what I said too.
Well, I said that
Listen,
whenever
and
you're
then what?
watching a
What are you gonna do
movie,
with this?
well, the show,
Your
the
notes page.
whatever you call it, you take notes. And whenever you take notes, it's going to help you get better on
The
the
worksheet.
worksheet. And whenever you get better on the worksheet,
You could
That
get all the
means-
answers correct.
that
The
means
faster that you
that
are
you were,
done.
that means that you were taking notes and
And the
listening.
faster-
Can I get your eyes in 3, 2, 1? Thumbs up if your partner knows what their job is. Joshua, reach closer. I don't see everyone's thumb up. Who's still confused? Okay, what is your job while you watch the video? Who can tell us? Someone I haven't heard from yet. Kirsten.
to fill in the blanks.
Okay, fill in the blanks from your note sheet. And what are you going to use the note sheet for?
A summary.
A summary. You're going to write a summary of all the important facts to teach us about what happened when?
To Yellowstone.
What happened to Yellowstone Park, right? When wolves were taken out and then they were brought back. They were brought back. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second. I need you to read over this sheet quickly so that you know the important information that you'll be filling in. And then we'll check with your partner to see what you're missing. Does everyone have one? What goes on top? Name. Now quickly read over. Is there anything tricky for you while you're reading, Carter? Is there anything tricky for you while you're reading? Okay, what do you think it could be? What parts could you use? Have you ever heard that before? You're close. What's this part? What would that part say? What other sound does he make? Yeah, try that. Have you ever heard of ecosystem or ecosystem? Ecosystem. That's what that is. Show me with your finger where you are. Keep going.
What's in?
Okay, are you ready? Let's see see what happened when wolves returned to Yellowstone National Park. So about 70 years ago, there was an overpopulation of deer in Yellowstone National Park, and that was partly due to the fact that they took out all of the wolves from Yellowstone. Wolves were seen as big and bad, and so that's what they did. They removed them. And Yellowstone National Park is actually located in Wyoming and surrounding states. It's very large. So you see Quincy is about here on our map, and Yellowstone is a good, northwest of us, hundreds of miles. And so Yellowstone is known for its wildlife, its vegetation, some hot springs like you see here. So wolves were absent from Yellowstone for over 70 years, and this caused an overpopulation of deer. So once they took the wolf out, the food chain and the food web changed. And here we have this overpopulation of deer. Deer love to eat vegetation. They grazed all that vegetation away from Yellowstone. And in doing that, they created some problems for the park. And so wolves were brought back into Yellowstone National Park. Only actually 14 were brought back to Yellowstone. And when they were brought back to Yellowstone, they killed some of the deer.